Of course, I had to do a video on this, and there's so many angles, so many different angles that I want to take with this, so many things I want to touch on. So my apologies if I'm all over the place on this. But let's start here. Maybe it has to be expected. And you can say I'm putting my little tinfoil hat on here. Don't really care. But I feel as if when it comes to the mainstream, more mainstream outlets and media, journalists, and reports, they don't lead with the facts. Now you think that journalists, their job is to try to keep the public as informed as they possibly can. Certainly about something like this. So in order to do that, you'd have to lead with the facts of the matter. And what I mean by that is giving people what is confirmed, what people that are let's say, closely tied to this, what they're saying about it. And I'm saying like leading with that. And then leaving that up to interpretation by way of the people that read your material. Now, in this age of all right, we got to get ad revenue. We have to get the clicks. Maybe they've strayed so far away from that is not even a goal of theirs. Yes, the CDC is a thing. Now, I'm not going to get too anti-government with this. Maybe I will. I'm going to try not to. That's not necessarily one of the angles that I wanted to talk about. Maybe I'll say that for another video, talking about red tape by way of even with the federal government and how it makes it more difficult for people to not only come up with solutions, but prepare for this. Even people that are, among the healthcare industry, because they have to either wait for the federal government or wait for this level of bureaucracy to do this, to test this. That's something for a different video. That's a real thing, but that's something for a different video. It's not necessarily the angle here. But here's an example. I wanted to just find out the average death rate, because I hadn't seen it. In terms of age of the people that are being killed by this virus. Now, that's an important thing. That's a very important thing that I think pretty much every individual wants to know about. It'll not only tell you how to prepare, it'll tell you what you, if you got family members and stuff, it'll tell you pretty much what to expect. And I couldn't find it. Certainly not in the US. I can find like article here, this person's age, this person out here where I'm at in Frisco. He's 30. He's a year older than I am, right? Who I guess sort of tested positive, right, for this coronavirus here. But you'd think that would be something that they lead with. They don't. What I see a lot of, blue check mark here, politically affiliated doctor here, slams Trump. Other side, Trump is supposedly downplaying this, and that. It's all Trump. What angle they can take in that regards to slam whatever person is on the other side of the political aisle. I see a lot more of that than I just see I have to swim through it. I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. I'm saying you got to swim through it to try to find and figure out what's the case here. As an example, I hold on. Let me get this figured out, because I don't know what's going on with this and why it keeps doing that. Okay, so this is a prime example. This is something that is very useful. I had to swim through it to find it, but this is something everybody wants to text me and stuff when I'm doing videos. But this is a big deal right here. And it's talking about in China, when it comes to the death rates and the percentage based on terms of how if you're more likely to die due to this coronavirus. People my age, it is almost statistically insignificant, the people that are dying. It's like 0.2% people my age, between that bracket of 20 and 29, my age, that are dying from this. That's a big deal, right? That's a huge deal. That's not to say that I want to catch it. You know what I mean? Anybody that's been sick knows it friggin' sucks, right? It sucks. Definitely if it's something that is flu-like. It sucks. It sucks. It's not fun. Even a cold, which is viral in itself, I believe, is also, it's not fun to have. So I would like to avoid it if possible. But considering that I'm a relatively healthy person, very healthy person, it is very unlikely that a person like myself is going to die from this. Even my mother, who's a healthy person, it raises, but it's not that big of a deal. The people that I worry about who get up to this age, my grandmother, my great aunts, stuff like that. Those are folks that I'm like, okay, we got to keep an eye on, right? But me, myself, and definitely in this household, everybody in this household is between this age bracket. That's a big deal. And if people, I think, knew this, because what generally screws things up when it comes to things like that, it's not necessarily the event itself. It's usually the panic or the things that surrounds it when people start overreacting to it. That's what generally screws things up and makes it very difficult for other people. Right now, as an example, at your stores, certain stores, they haven't gone on a complete freak out. And again, I'm in Frisco, where this recent positive case sort of came about, and you can pretty much get whatever you want aside from maybe toilet paper and I think hand sanitizer and soap. It's apparently y'all ain't been washing y'all stanky behind or your hands, but you can't get that stuff there. Okay, so. But everything else, so they're not freaking out like totally, pretty chill. Now, I have seen that other places aren't necessarily like that, but they haven't been freaking out totally, okay? But I'm just using that sort of as an example as to what could be. But when these guys, and all I read is, all right, well, death rates increase. You look at what's going on in Italy. I'm like, all right, well, what's going on in Italy? Why is the rate so high in Italy? Or so much more higher in terms of death rates in Italy than it is in other places. Oh, wait a minute. Their average age is like 10 years higher than what it is here. And I'm sitting there like, this is important, man. This is important to know. But from what I've seen, and I've been trying to pay attention to this, nobody leads with that. Even if they lead with the death rate, it's always like the percentage of people that death is like, all right, between 2%, 4%. And you see these percentages, but that don't even tell even half the story. Because you got to then look at, what kind of, were they already compromised in terms of having bad health? How old were they? And then the percentage is completely different. But if you want to send people into shock or send people into, just keep them as uneducated as possible about this. Now, look, guys, I'm not saying that there's not a venue to hear people's different perspective on this. That's actually to the contrary of what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the fact that for the bare bones basic facts, such as that I just mentioned, I have to swim through mountains upon mountains of articles and such to even find this. Leads me to believe that people are more, certainly among this crowd. This is why I don't take journalists serious. This is just another example of this. These guys are more concerned about the political, and this is why politics is such a rotten thing, man. I'm not a libertarian just to be one, right? It does come with the logical conclusion. But also, I'm looking at stuff like this and how just the sheer existence of this the political element of it and it running people's lives. Even something like this, they can't even detach themselves from politics. It's always got to be an angle. What is Trump saying? How's Trump handling it? Like, why are we putting so much stock in what it is that he says? Or the people in even positions of power like that are can we get to the facts? Right? But people are more concerned with that. Oh, this can be a detriment to Trump. Let's take that angle. Oh, this can make him look good. Let's take that angle. It's like, bro, I just want to know the facts. All of y'all are crooks. You think that the journalists that aren't supposedly being paid by the government officials and stuff like that wouldn't care about that crap either. They just want to keep folks like myself, informed. But the fact that from what it looks like now and again, it is virus. It can mutate. It can do all of this other stuff. But as it stands right now, people my age and people of my health, it's almost statistically insignificant in terms of the actual death rate, the likelihood that I am to die from the coronavirus. And chances are a lot of you guys are like myself. Some of you not. But if people understood that simple fact, it's not to say they wouldn't prepare. Because again, who the hell wants to be sick? I don't want to be sick. But they won't overreact. They overreact when they don't understand. And they don't understand. Now, some of this goes on the opposite side. It's not just the journalists. It's also with the people that unfortunately put so much into them. They won't go the extra mile to try to find the facts like I just did. Yes, you have to swim through it and it sucks. But you get people that just accept it all. Trump. It's like, come on, man. I'm swimming through mountains upon mountains of this bogus, like stuff that I don't even care about regarding this. And what's getting lost in the sauce is the things that I personally find important, likely you guys do, because that is a big deal. What I'm asking for isn't anything that's miraculous, right? I get it. Yes, the CDC has the little website. Okay, how can you prevent it, right? And I'm not saying that stuff and people need to know that isn't important, but I'm saying that's the government institution, that's a government agency. You think yes, the journalists can report on that, but also their job is to find out the stuff that they not telling you because they don't work for them, supposedly. So I'd like to see things such as the facts coming from people aside from just that folks that work for the state. Look, man, it goes both ways. I cannot say that enough. You can pay attention to what it is folks are saying, but take it with a grain of salt. But also, these media heads are something else. When I saw this, I was like, when I first looked this up, and this came out, this is when they searched, this is almost a month old, and I have to swim through this to find. And even when I type in that, I search, I'm like, what's the average age of the coronavirus deaths in America? It's like 50 or so. It should be easy to pin those down. There's nothing on this. There's absolutely nothing. And just so you know, guys, God dog, why does it keep doing that? There we go. Like, you kind of veered off to the side, but I can't find nothing on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to swim to, okay, this is where it's at. Right? This is what China, like, the fact that I have to do that, to me, is unacceptable. This is why I don't take these guys serious. They're not to be trusted. Now, that should go without saying. You should have enough evidence to show why these guys are not to be trusted. But I'm saying this also to you guys, because folks are you're going to get more positive case. Lord knows, because look, There's people that reading something about children like are going. There's children that are testing positive for it, and they don't even have any damn symptoms. Like, it's like, why is the children like they don't even? You think they would be big time because they have weaker immune systems? They're less likely to die from it than I am. Like, why don't I, But again, you got to try to swim through it and find it, right? And people that have kids, that's your job. You want to protect them with everything. That's a pretty important thing that you want to know. But I'm sitting here looking at that. I'm like, man, it's statistically insignificant in terms of the percentage, the likelihood that people will die. A person my age will say that. It's a big deal. Here we are. Everybody has to have an angle. Therefore, it's you got to swim through mounds upon mounds of garbage to even try to find the facts of the matter. The thing that the journalists, their job is to literally do that. But there are independent media outlets as well that are trying to swim through it and trying to put it out there, the facts of the matter. And I would encourage you guys to share. So you're not going to be able to post links in the comments. So, feel free to tweet at me. Hey man, this is a good source of what I found. That's just the facts of the matter. You can analyze it for yourself. That you guys think that'll be helpful for me. And if I find it intriguing enough, I'll share it out to everybody else as well. Because I think that's important. A lot of folks want to just know the facts. I don't care about your angle, man. I don't care about, you wanting to utilize this to try to pin it on. I don't fuck like that. I don't care. Give me the facts, homie. Give me the facts. And I analyze it for myself. I don't know, man. I don't know.